Hi, my name is Aaron and this is my show, Reeducation, and I have a question. How many CIA-backed coups does it take to make the people realize that socialism doesn't work? Of course, that's not my joke. That's Lee Camp from Redacted Tonight's joke, but I think that that is actually a pretty strong point. It seems that all over the media through the last few years, we've heard nothing but Venezuela, 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 socialism doesn't work, socialism doesn't work. And yet, the reason why it seems Venezuela had so much problems with socialism not working is because of the United States putting multiple sanctions on them. And now, all of a sudden, they're talking about launching a coup. Those 28 countries, obviously pressured by the United States, decided to say that Nicolas Maduro, the democratically elected president of Venezuela, is no longer the president, and some other guy named Juan Guaido is. And he wasn't elected basically at all by any of the people. Now, see, I don't think that Maduro is necessarily a good guy. In fact, I think that he's probably not a great guy. I don't think that the Venezuelan people are doing incredibly well under his rule, but I also don't think that they're doing anywhere near as badly as the mass media, as the state-run media is projecting this story as being. You see, we went through this exact same situation several times before. Libya, Syria, Somalia, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Panama, many other places in South America, and I need not go on. Specifically, the most recent was Libya. And if you remember, Muammar Gaddafi had a fucking baton shoved up his ass, and afterwards, after they killed him, they toppled the dictator, the CIA, after the CIA-backed rebels toppled the dictator with their coup, Muammar Gaddafi. Now, Libya went from being one of the most powerful countries in all of Africa and turned into an active slave trading state. Women and children are being openly bought and sold on the slave trade market because of a USA-backed coup that toppled their dictator. Now, obviously, dictators like Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein and people of the like are not people that you want to have in power. But unfortunately, it is a fact of life that they are better than having an open slave trade market. It isn't beneficial necessarily to have them there. It is, though, less beneficial to have them gone. In the case of Venezuela, the people are not starving. Some might be a little bit hungry, but for the most part, what they are lacking is specific goods. They're not lacking in an amount of food. They're lacking in specifics when it comes to food. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be starving. It means that they might not have a type of fish or a type of beef or whatever. It doesn't mean that they are in peril. But if you're to watch the media, the state-run media, everything that you see about it, wall-to-wall coverage, says that they are starving and being tortured. And that's not just on Fox News. That's on MSNBC, CNN, all of the major channels. The pro-establishment media, which is most of it, has all fallen on the side of Maduro is a terrible guy, even here in Canada. Every time I hear coverage of it on the CBC, it honestly makes me want to be sick to my stomach because they don't even bother. They don't even bother saying that this is a coup. That they don't even bother saying that this is a controversial thing. Why are they going into Venezuela in the first place? I mean, it seems, obviously, on the face of it, that their people are clearly not starving, and there is no dictatorship going on. Just some guy who happened to have a little bit of fuckery with his election. Not unlike fucking Donald Trump. Well, it just so happens that Venezuela holds the #1 world's largest oil reserves. And Donald Trump wants them. He's said specifically that he wants to go in and take those oil reserves. So that's what they're doing. They're going in and taking the oil. They want it, so they will has it. It's what they've wanted to do for many years there. That's why they basically had a problem with Hugo Chavez in the first place. They didn't like the idea of having that government having state-run oil companies. They want that oil for themselves. They want to open up the market so they can have capitalist industries come in and make profit off of it. That's how this works. That's how all of this works. Like I said before, they come in and take the land, take the resources, and take the property of the people that live in those countries. That's the whole point of war. It's to expand territory. It's to gain profit. Now, as a quick aside, I know that many people have done this exact same analogy. Imagine if in the United States, since there was a bit of fuckery that went on with the presidential election that elected Donald Trump in, imagine that all of the countries got together, all of the other countries got together, came in and said, no, the United States does not have Donald Trump as their president. We're going to get rid of him, and in his place, we're going to put Nancy Pelosi. Do you think that I think that's a good idea? Fuck no! Here's my final point, is that if we were actually going into these countries to make sure that we were stopping brutal dictators from torturing their citizens or doing horrible things all over the world, then why is it that we are allied with Saudi Arabia, who happens to be committing an actual genocide in Yemen as we speak? They are actually committing an actual genocide. And we're fucking friends with these guys. We are allies with these people. And yet Venezuela, who is doing absolutely nothing, is actually about to have their asses bombed back to the fucking Stone Age because they happen to have oil. Oh, and they're not our allies. They're socialists. Don't forget that too. The whole socialism thing, don't think that that doesn't have anything to do with it. My name is Aaron. This is my show, Reeducation. Thanks for watching.